life throw a lot of balls,
yeah.
you know.
A lot of balls.
Yeah, that's my saying. So
Life throws a lot of balls at you.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Some of these
Yeah.
women, they tend to say, "Oh, why marry her if you don't trust her?"
Yeah, it's got
Right?
nothing to
It
do
has nothing to do with
trust.
trust.
Everybody's trustworthy to a certain extent,
Mhm.
except when things change.
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back again to my channel. So for today's video, I have another discussion with my husband from,
Paul's Asian Adventure.
please do check out his channel. So for today's topic, we are going to talk about how friendship can affect your marriage, both the positive and a negative way.
Yeah. So when Mia says friendship, she's talking about friends that you have, not friendship between the man and the woman, but between like Mia and her friends, or myself and my friends, or other couples and their friends. I think that's what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
But
So
before we start, I gotta say something. I know I look very scruffy and I look very tired, and people might say, "Oh, he looks so exhausted." We just got up and decided to make this video, and we're having our
coffee.
first coffee, so that hasn't even kicked in. We're on a beach resort, which Mia will put some video in it right now
Yeah.
to show the beach where we're at and the resort that we're at. So with that, just so we don't get comments about that, oh, your husband looks tired and scruffy, what did he do to him, like that?
I beat him up.
Yeah, he beat me up. Okay, with that.
So with that, so we're gonna talk about this topic because it's really important to be able to know, for example, me having a friend, and for example, I have a friend, sorry. For example, I have a friend who's very toxic to our relationship, and you know how women, they always go to their friend and ask for their advice, right?
Yeah,
When it
just like
comes
guys,
to
yeah.
trouble in paradise.
You
Right.
don't even have to ask for advice, really, because there are some, and maybe this is what I see, maybe I'm wrong, but especially women, they try to, it's almost like if they're not happy being alone,
Yeah.
they want you alone. They want to pull you down to their level,
Yeah.
almost. They call that the crab mentality, right?
Yeah.
The crab can never get out of the bucket. The other crabs keep pulling him down, him or her down. I think that's part of the issue, actually, is that some women, the bad toxic friends, will tend to try to pull you down.
Yep.
By using,
That
they know you,
situation.
the thing is, they know you, and they know the points that are gonna like aggravate you and stuff like that, and they do that. And these are the toxic friends a female and a male, for that matter, doesn't need to have. And it's important on the husband or the wife to be like, tell that to their husband slash wife, right?
Yeah, to be.
Like for me, as example, there was one friend that you had before, and I told you straight out, if we're gonna stay together, she's got to go.
Yeah.
And you said you agreed with me, because you did say to me, yeah, she's toxic, she's not good influence, and you got rid of her. So that's what it takes to make a relationship work. You see that. I mean, guys see which females are toxic, and typically females see which males that are hanging around a guy that are toxic. And from your perspective, when you see like a guy with friends, what do you define as toxic? Like, what is it? I'll give you my definition later, but what do you define as bad for relationships?
Well, for me,
Yeah.
a man who has a toxic friend is like a friend who always like say, "Hey, do you wanna hang out? Go for a bar. Go, you know,
So
bar hopping."
bar type of people,
Yeah, because they always tend to pull you into doing
that type of lifestyle.
something bad, like drinking, and then later on doing something more bad that will get you in trouble.
Yeah.
And that way, they don't care about your marriage or relationship. All they want to do is have fun, and they want to pull you in because they want to have fun with you, right?
Yeah.
So type of toxic friend I
For you?
define for me anyway?
For me, is the toxic women are, I know this is a broad perspective, but I'll start with the broad and go into detail. It's feminists. Feminists are like, I don't need no man, no woman needs no man. They're the kind of type that are typically single, typically overvalue themselves, kind of to the delusional point.
Yeah.
And that comes out, I'll get into that later, but that gets into social media, but we'll talk about that later. So those are the type of girls that you gotta be careful. And typically they are single, or they have kids with several dads or one dad, or they have a husband, but the husband is not like the stoic type of person. It's more her who's the boss in that relationship.
Yeah.
And the guy just follows around, and I've seen that a lot. So those are the type of toxic women I would not want you hanging around.
So when
yeah.
you say about the feminist friend, so these type of friends, they're the one who says like, oh, you can get much better than that. You can do much better than that.
Well,
Is
that doesn't
what
have to
it
be
is?
a feminist. That's other women, but typically that is women who feel like they're independent of everybody. They're empowered. They're better. No, I wouldn't say they're better than everybody, but they just have this
Overwhelming confidence.
They have this overwhelming belief that they are it type of deal, even though they're not. A lot of it comes from social media. Sometimes they're YouTubers, sometimes they're TikTokers, sometimes they're just on Instagram, and they get a lot of attention by just taking a couple of pics in a bikini, and that's the other thing. Well, we can kind of go into that now. Social media, since we're talking about that, is the social media aspect.
The effects of social media
if your
in
friends,
marriage.
because if your friends are a lot on social media, more than likely you'll end up being on social media a lot. If they are on TikTok every day, guess what? You'll end up being on TikTok. If they're doing like shaking their ass and skimpy clothes every day on TikTok, you'll end up doing that. You are who your best friends are. If like there's this saying, show me your 3 or 4 best friends and I'll show you who you are.
Yeah.
So you become like them. Even if you're not in the beginning, slowly you become like your best friends.
Also, there's this saying, I just remember it now. It says, birds of the same feather, they flock together.
Yeah.
So if you hang out on a group that values good relationship, that wants to be traditional, you tend to be traditional, right?
Because you're all enforcing each other.
Yeah.
You're all building each other up. You all have the same goals.
But you want the same thing, and if you are hanging out, for example, a wife is hanging out
with a bunch of single girls. Yeah, a bunch of single girls.
Yeah, if your wife's hanging out with single girls and all they want to do is, oh, you wanna go mani-pedi and then
go on a girl trip.
Yeah, and then
go to the bar.
All that
guys
stuff.
At home. Yeah.
You'll end up just leaving that marriage because you think you deserve better than that. You think that the grass is greener on the other side.
The woman ends up leaving, not the man.
The woman
ends up leaving.
Because you think that the grass is greener on the other side.
Because you get some attention at the bar, you get some attention on Insta. There might be of a higher caliber in your eyes.
Yeah.
In the female's eyes. But reality is when they come to the other side, all the guys want to do is bang them and drop them.
It's like just want to taste it.
They don't want to be with them. They don't want to stay with them. They don't want to. It's like this is where a lot of females get confused because, of course, they think differently than guys. But guys will say whatever they need to say and do whatever they need to do to get the girl in the bed. But once they have the girl in the bed, it's like, don't call me, I'll call you. You know?
It's like this man, they come to the Philippines full of candy and they don't want to stick with one candy yet because they want to taste it.
Well, they're not full of candy. They come to the Philippines, which is like a candy store.
Yeah, candy store.
Candy shop. They go in, they want to taste everything, right?
Yeah, they don't want to just stick to one.
And they'll say whatever they want to say to get that specific candy just to taste it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they want to stick to that one candy the rest of their lives, right?
But you're stuck with me. the rest of your
That's
life.
because you're awfully nice candy. I have to say that.
So, anyways, there's also this type of friends who oppose the marriage, and they're the type of friends that when something is wrong in your marriage or relationship, for example, of course, I'll just use wife for example, because wife tends to seek solace in their friends, right?
Yeah.
And so anyway, so when a wife goes to their friend, ask for advice, and their friends would say something like, he's not a good man for you.
Yeah, or you can do better.
Yes.
Why are you with this guy? He's older.
Yeah.
You can get a guy who's better educated, has more money, or whatever they say. You can do better, girl. Like that. And they shake their head like that.
And sometimes, they don't want that marriage or relationship to work out.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure in this one you'll get a lot of comments like, you can do better, girl.
who are you to tell me that? Yeah, anyway, so this sometimes that kind of friend would lead to something else, like that friend's behavior would go something beyond unimaginable, wherein she ruins that marriage or relationship, and she ended up taking the man for herself.
Oh yes, this has happened quite often.
Yeah, you don't know,
like
things like that happen.
she will like push the wife of this husband to leave the husband, get a divorce by oh, you can do better, he's an asshole, blah blah blah. And then a year later those two are together. You're like, and the female's like, shit, what just happened here? Did I get tricked? Did I get scammed? Is this a husband scam?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's a sad situation.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
But it happens.
It
does happen.
It does happen.
And yeah, so I don't know if there's anything else, any other topics you would like to cover. But you got to be careful. The main thing of this topic is, if you're a guy here in the Philippines, married to a woman, you got to be, I mean, you can't, of course, tell someone who their friend's going to be, but you can lay down the line and say, you know what, you don't need to be hanging out with those. And if she
persists on
if she is a good wife, if she follows you and she is dedicated to the marriage, she will listen. If she's not, she won't listen, and that tells you
who she is.
Who she is and what you need to do as a man.
What she prioritizes.
What she prioritizes. It's not you. So with that, I don't think I have anything else to say. Maybe you have more to say.
So I just want to say that you have to be very careful, especially if you guys are married or starting out in a relationship. You have to really see who your wife's friends are, or vice versa for that relationship, because the outside factors, external factors, actually affects your marriage or relationship.
Everybody's affected by external factors, whether they admit it or not. They are.
Yeah, they will say, "Oh no, we're stronger than that." You don't know that.
That's one of the reasons.
Life throw a lot of balls.
A lot of balls.
Yeah, that's my saying. So.
Life throws a lot of balls at you.
Yeah, it does.
No, but also that's a different video. But that's one of the reasons when when you take a Filipina out of the Philippines and to the West, she might be the most humble, best girl, but external factors affect that relationship, whether people like it or not. And sometimes the relationship survives those external factors, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, it's like,
but that's a different video.
Some of these women, they tend to say, oh, why marry her if you don't trust her?
Yeah, it's got nothing.
It has nothing to do with trust.
Everybody's trustworthy to a certain extent, except when things change.
Yeah.
We are all human beings. To say you're 100% trustworthy or not 100% trustworthy is BS. Everybody has their weak points. But anyway, there's one more thing I wanted to say, and I did mention it briefly, but if you are thinking about getting married,
Yeah.
or you're in the kind of looking for someone right now, even if you have some friends that you don't like, I mean, I wouldn't say don't marry the girl, but you have to lay down the line, The same
Yeah.
with the woman, not lay down the line, but have that discussion before marriage
Yep.
and say, hey, your friend, I don't know, whatever name you want to use, you know, um, I don't care for her. I think she's not good for our relationship. And if we're going to continue this relationship, you need to cut her out.
Yeah.
If she does care about you, she'll respect that. That's it from me, darling.
Okay. Well, let's
Wrap it up.
let's wrap it up. And thank you everyone for watching this video. And please don't forget to check out his channel.
Paul's Asian Adventure. My channel is still smaller than hers, so you guys need to help me.
Yo.
Okay.
Bye.